We're live, and it's um, Monday. It's the 1st of April. So happy April to everyone. Um, and it is also, did I say it's one? Just about one in 2024. I actually wrote about April today. Um, it's an optimistic month for me. Well, one, it's my birthday month, April 17th. So, what, 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away? And this is when things finally begin. Of course, the first 3 days of April are going to be rainy. Um, but things finally begin to warm up on a regular basis. We get some days in February. Occasionally, it's 60, 70 degrees in February. And then we get some warm days in March. It hit 80 one day in March. But those are rare. Then it's back into the 40s. But April, things start to look up. And that is good for me, good for my body. A little bit of warmth um, makes me want to get out and move a bit more. Not that I'm inactive in winter. I get out twice a day, every day, for my walks and for my runs, regardless of what the weather. I was out this morning in the rain, a little bit of lightning, which caused me to, and I might write about this tomorrow, it caused me to reroute my walk. I decided that maybe, what's the expression? Discretion is the better part of valor. That it might be in my best interest to cut the walk short, maybe a mile and a half, instead of the usual 2.5 to 3 miles that I do. Again, this is early. It's still dark. The sun's not up yet. So when that lightning flashes in the dark, everything's lit up. So I reroute my walk and I start heading back towards home, and I'm going down a street that I don't normally hit that early. Not so much a street as part of my neighborhood block. And lightning flashes, and just a few yards ahead of me is a fox staring at me. So it was almost like a gift. Reroute my walk. I decided at that point I was going to continue my walk. I was going to get at least 2+ miles in hopes of continuing to see the fox. Every once in a while, they will follow me out of curiosity, out of maybe kindred spirit. But man, it's always a gift to see a fox. It's always a gift to see any animal. It points out our connection to nature. My friend Flower is here. She says hi. And when did we start? We just started. Just over 3 minutes. It's like you're exactly on time. So, Flower, I was telling everyone, well, no one's here yet except for you. I never know who's going to show up. Sometimes no one. And that's fine too. I don't talk so much for other people as I talk to sound things out, to put ideas out there, to feel those vibrations of the conversation. But I was mentioning, I saw you commented on my fox video, and I saw another fox this morning. Absolutely beautiful. I love seeing them. It is definitely a gift from nature. Anytime I see any kind of animal, which is often every day, we see something. Fox, deer. Wasn't that long ago I saw a raccoon, an occasional possum, lots of deer, lots of bunnies, but I haven't seen one in the daytime, so I haven't been able to get a video. Hopefully soon. Lots of squirrels. We have beavers down at my little pond about a quarter of a mile away. I've yet to be able to get a video of one as well. Hawks, eagles, vultures. Last year we had a bear wander through the neighborhood. Always interesting when that happens. Every couple of years we'll have a bear wander through. So I hope you had a good day in school, Flower. I'm waiting. We're going to see if Destiny Forever Walks PhD shows up. Then we might talk about Karma Yoga. Flower says, beavers, yes, beavers, they have the flat tails, big teeth, they build dams. And we don't have otters nearby. Not in my neighborhood. We have them. There's a river, maybe a 10-minute drive from my house, maybe a little less. And that river has otters in it. We got to look around for them, though. Flower says she certainly did. Have a good day. Good. Glad to hear it. So yeah, listing off all the wildlife, quite a bit. It's actually impressive for the little area that we live in. So yeah, if our friend Destiny comes by today, I never want to put any pressure on anyone to drop by, but if she does, I thought we'd talk a bit more about Karma Yoga, which she had some questions about. And it's always good to discuss. It's always fun for me. Maybe not for everyone. Let's see. Flower says the viewer count went up. Yes, it did. Always nice. And always when it's always nice when people watch. It's always nice when people participate. Speaking of participating, our friend Derek is here. Osiris. Osiris, how are you? Did I miss your workout this morning? I didn't see I'm on YouTube here as well. I didn't see a video. Always try to keep up with everyone's workouts. So it's a bit of a slow conversation to start. I was listing animals in my neighborhood, Osiris, and Flower. Osiris has me topped because he has mountain lions. Maybe not in his immediate area, but not far away. Let's see. Osiris says, "Good morning, Eric." And good, Eric. Nope, nothing posted. I got my burpees in today. A bit tweaky in the back still, a bit tweaky in the knee, my right knee. None of which has anything to do with burpees. It has everything with having a high mileage body. It's the price you pay, I think. It is what it is. It says, "Good mother freaking morning, YouTube family." I always want to read that as Uber family. I think my mind just sees the U and runs with that, which sort of shows you the nature of the mind, the conclusions that it jumps to, and that it's a wonderful tool for what it does, but it's not the most reliable for interpreting reality. That reality sort of exists independent of our thoughts about it, not independent from the mind, at least in my view, because when we talk about the true mind, it can't be separated from reality, can't be separated from the universe or universal consciousness. Um, but our thoughts certainly don't give that a fair representation. Sarah says, "Good morning, Lewis." And Lewis is giving that right back. Lewis, how's your training been going? I know you did a shirtless Saturday. Flower says, I guess it's about to be good morning for me too. Yep, but your morning is pretty early. I'm beginning to wonder if you sleep at all. I know that Osiris is at the beginning of a new block. Guess what? This is the second week of your new block. And I've been incorporating dips and chins. The dips feel surprisingly good. Occasionally, they give my left shoulder a bit of trouble. I'm being careful. I don't think I'm going to add weight on my dips. Originally, I thought I was going to, and maybe I still will eventually. I don't know if it's necessary for me and what I want to accomplish. Um, I'm not training for any great strength increase. I'm not looking to get bigger. I always appreciate having a high degree of muscle tone, um, which means you got to have some muscle on you. But as far as being bigger at my age, it's just not a wise investment to put in the calories that it takes. Health wise, joint wise, it's easier to be lighter. And if I ever decide to make an ultra running comeback, I won't have to lose any muscle mass, which I did before when I switched sports. Your body almost always reflects the activity or the sport that you're doing. So when I went from Olympic lifting to kettlebell sport, my body registered the difference. When I went to kettlebell sport to ultra running, again, my body reflected the change. Although for a long time I was able to hang on to a fair amount of muscle as I was running, but as the miles and the races lengthened, it got a little harder. Lewis says, yes, did the 3-2-1 burpees routine Saturday, going for 1,000 burpees in 2 weeks. Well, like I said, I would when I started in January. I remember. Hopefully, is that going to be a live session or are you just going to film it? And Osiris says, yep, second week. I see some big gains coming in this block for sure. Osiris says, nice, Lewis, and I appreciate that, Osiris. And our friend Destiny Forever Walks PhD is here. Hello and happy Monday, Eric. How are you? I'm well. It's April. I really enjoy April. This is when spring takes a hold. This is when I call it the greening of the world. The world starts turning green with flash of flowers. Life starts showing itself more and more, meaning animals become more active. It's just a beautiful, beautiful time of the year. Of course, my favorite month is June. That's when green in the world hits its peak. Everything is just so vibrant and alive. Definitely love spring through the earliest part of summer. Destiny is saying hi to everyone. And it is what it is. Says I'm hoping to be live with the J. If he allows me to be on his live for that. If not, I'll be live. I'm be willing to bet that he will. Everyone's saying hi to Destiny. Purple VR says, my birthday is in 3 days. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday in 3 days. My birthday is the 17th of this month, and I'm willing to bet that I'm going to be considerably older than you. I will be entering my last year in my 50s. Not sure how to feel about that. Purple VR says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. I'm glad you came by to let us know. Stop by on your birthday if you get a chance. I will promise you I will not sing you a song. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. You never know. I've done karaoke before. I've never sung on YouTube before. And I think YouTube just got a collective sigh of appreciation that has never taken place. Desi says, I will start my vacation tomorrow. Hey, that's great news. I will see you after I get back home. Tag you in a vid to update you. Thanks, you. I appreciate that. Hope you're going somewhere wonderful, somewhere beautiful. Our friend Brian Lane is here. You guys are all following Brian, right? Osiris? I know Lewis is. I know Destiny is. Brian is putting in the work. The good, the bad, and the ugly. What's being discussed in here? That's a good question. I get that question fairly often. Generally speaking, absolutely nothing is being discussed here. And I don't mean nothing as in nothing specific, I guess is the best way to say it. We ramble. We talk about yoga. We talk about life. We had a great topic. Lewis was here for that, Destiny, about politics. Really good discussion about politics. Because you know what? I'm sure every one of us has different views, but we all came together. No judgment, just talking. It was good. I don't want to do that often, though. I don't enjoy talking politics too much. Doesn't mean I don't talk about it. I'm just saying I don't enjoy it too much. Let's see. So, hey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're always open to any discussion. We're talking quite a bit about training now, too, because we got some great hard workers in this discussion. But nothing's excluded and nothing is limited. So, hey, you want to throw something out there? We can at least approach it. Purple VR says, hello, Destiny. I was going to talk about karma yoga in a little bit. So we'll see that. Although, you know what? I looked up and I noticed as soon as I said the word yoga, 2 viewers dropped off immediately. I think people are tired of hearing me talk about yoga. Brian says, hi, Destiny. Hope you enjoy your vacation. I do too. Sarah says, nice. So we'll look him up. Yeah, I still haven't learned how to drop links. I wish I did because it would be easier for you. Derek, I really think you'll appreciate Brian too because he'll post some nature videos and he talks about his own spiritual path. And Brian, if you're not familiar with Osiris, definitely check out his training. He went from someone who, when I first started following him, was almost exclusively doing burpees. And then just not 100% though, and different body weight stuff. But then it was like week by week by week, his workouts expanded, including more stuff, and he just made these fantastic gains. And he was always in shape. But I think in the past year, he's gotten really jacked. Definitely put on some size. Desi says, I am doing awesome, Lewis, and I also tagged you in the vid to update you on my vacation. Glad to hear that you were good. Brian says, Eric, last short video I did was something I wrote down and was going to share it with you. Um, I'll check it out for sure. They usually pop up. Sometimes I have to seek it out, but for the most part, things pop up for me. Brian, Derek spent quite a bit of time practicing Zen meditation, so we all share that interest together. Derek, Brian is a very active meditator. Destiny said, Eric, I'm going on a great vacation with that my daughter planned for me, and she will be my tourist guide. I am blessed. Man, that's awesome, Destiny. A vacation with family tourist guide definitely is a blessing. So I got some videos to check out when we're done talking today. Hey, our friend Odom's here. Odom's Homestead. Hey, just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement. And hi to Destiny and hi to Brian Lane. Odom is another one that I hope you guys are following. Odom, did you buy a tree? What was it, Saturday? When you were out shopping? Or did you buy some trees? Do you always buy something when you go to those sort of expos? Or is it mainly just browsing? See if something catches your eye. Destiny's saying hi to Brian. So she stopped by his house this morning. Brian's got a great channel to visit. It's a great channel just to spend time. You know, every channel has something to offer. I go to It Is What It Is when I need a shot of intensity. When, I want to see that hardcore dive into burpees. This is how you do it. To quote our friend Destiny. Lewis always shows this is how you do it. This is how it gets done. And I always enjoy seeing the variety of work that Derek does. It's always going to be interesting. It's always going to be varied. And always well planned out, which is impressive, especially doing that much. Because, when you start to spread out a bit, things can get haphazard in their approach. But everything's done with a purpose and a reason. Thought of before. Nothing's haphazard in the training. I appreciate that in the training quite a bit. That was a huge shift for me. Training as a teenager to when I made that shift, I wanted to bodybuild and I became serious about my training. When you become serious about something, everything changes. Same with meditation. You can't toy with meditation because then you get that sort of haphazard benefits. You might feel good after you meditate, but you never go deeper. They liken it to digging for water. If you dig a few inches here and you say, oh, no water, and then you dig a few inches over here and you say no water, and then you keep doing that, you never get deep enough. If you do that when you meditate, every couple of days or 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, you never get into that depth of consciousness where things happen, when you begin to see the nature of the mind and you smooth out those samskaras. Samskaras are those mental imprints we don't even realize we have, but our entire life is driven by them, by our aversions, by our attachments, by our fears, specifically the fear of death, by our belief that we are the ego, our thoughts, and by our ignorance of all of those. But when you get deep in that meditation, you begin to see them and you begin to even them out so you become responsive. You're no longer reacting to the push-pull of the emotional life. You're living from that heart center. Same with training. If you just do, I'm going to do some push-ups today, and then maybe Thursday I might do 1 or 2 squats. Maybe I'll do some kettlebell swings on Sunday. You can maybe maintain a decent amount of health. It's better than nothing. But if you want to um, really touch the depth of what training is, you got to dive deep into it, and you got to have a plan. Otherwise, you know, like I said, you're just digging shallowly for water. Oh, but to get back to Brian's channel, I sort of rambled on there for a bit. That's the place to hang out. That's the place where it's like you're hanging out with your interesting neighbor. He's a hard worker, a smart trainer, but he's got beautiful nature videos. He talks about meditation. He talks about his recovery. It's an inspiring channel, as are all of yous. Yes, I said yous. I didn't mean to say yous, but it just came out. A little bit of a New York accent came out without me even. I visited New York maybe a half dozen times. Fun place to spend a day. Honestly, I've spent a few weekends there, but I don't think I'd want to spend more than 1 or 2 days. Although, one thing I've discovered, you can find wilderness anywhere. You can find nature everywhere. You can walk a block in New York City and still experience nature. There's really no place that you're not in nature. But I certainly prefer my neck of the wood natures. So make sure I'm catching up here. Brian says, I wrote it as the more I work on myself every day, the more successfully proud I become of myself for putting the work in and its amazing feelings. It's important. That's the kind of thing that builds the momentum for your practice. Been meditating for well over 30 years, and every day it's like again, I'm hitting that new depth of awareness and understanding. My friend Robert Saltzman, who wrote the book The 10,000 Things and Depending on No Thing, and highly recommend them. 10,000 Things especially. He likes to say awakening never ends, and I certainly agree with that. When we think in terms of enlightenment, as if there's an end result of our meditation, and we're there, and now we're done. We don't have to do anything. Or from our yoga practice or whatever. And it just doesn't work that way. You're as enlightened now as you're ever going to be. However, the awakening of knowing that is a never-ending process. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out for sure, Brian. It is what it is. Says, hey, Brian, you should join Osiris June 8th, I believe, for Burpee Day, bro. Yeah, Brian, where are you located? I don't think I've asked you that. Osiris says, you're too kind, Eric. Thank you. Hey, Derek, man, you put in the work. I'm just calling out the facts, honestly. And I certainly do, as I said, appreciate that type of approach. Destiny is saying blessings and happy Monday to Eldon. And Brian is saying that he hopes all is well. Lewis says, I saw that, Sister Destiny, you will be missed. Yeah, she will. I'm not sure if I've had a single day since I started doing live sessions where Destiny hasn't at the very least popped in to say hi. So yeah, she will definitely be missed. I always appreciate her company. and the energy she brings to every session. Osiris says, yes, sir, June 8th, Worldwide Burpee Day, listed on Eventbrite. Odom says that he's going on vacation too. Him and his wife are leaving Thursday. It's a good year to go on, or good time of year to go on vacation. I was mentioning that before, just how much I love April. And I'm not just saying that because it's my birthday month. Brian's saying thanks to Destiny. And saying hello to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Odom says he bought a golden plum tree. Awesome. Do you have any other golden plums? I know you've mentioned plum trees before, I believe. Odom says most of the time he buys something. I don't see, I can see it being hard for you to pass that up, as that's your thing. Brian says, hey, Louis, I will check it out. Destiny says, enjoy a vacation with your wife. And Brian says, hello to Osiris. Definitely check out his channel, Brian. Odom says, her birthday is Saturday. I'm going to find some new trees. It's awesome. Tell your wife I said happy birthday. Destiny, thank you for asking. Really nice. She asked how Mocha's feeling. She's feeling much better. She actually had off from school. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm sure I mentioned before, that she is getting her associate's degree. She has her bachelor's, but she's retired from the Air Force. She still had some GI Bill saved up, so she wanted to go back to school. She's getting her associate's degree in American Sign Language. Although she's taking a photography course now, and that's definitely her passion. That's definitely her art form, although she's a gifted writer as well. She had a migraine yesterday, which is why Destiny is asking how she is, and she's feeling much better. She actually came over just about an hour ago, and I set up the squat rack for her. She wanted to do some squats. That's the bond that has kept us together all these years. The bond of squats. You can't break that bond. One of the first things I actually did with her almost 23 years was take her to the gym and show her how to do squats. You got to make sure, if you're going to have a life partner, you got to make sure that they know how to squat properly. Otherwise, what is the basis of your relationship going to be based upon? You know, you can't trust someone who doesn't know how to squat properly. My opinion. So I appreciate you asking that. Flower says he prefer drawing or painting. You know what? I don't do a whole lot of either. I prefer writing. I write every day. I've written every day for every single day, never missing a day for over 25 years, including when I would do 24-hour races or 100-mile races. I would text myself. Something occurred to me, and you're out in nature, so you're going to be inspired. Some type of words are going to arrive, and you're going to want to share it. And I would stop at an aid station and borrow a pen and a piece of paper and write it down. Or if I had a phone at one of the aid stations in my drop bag, I would take it out and text myself so I would have it. I have not missed a day of writing. Lately, and I've mentioned this quite a bit, using my phone camera, or I have a new camera now, a Canon Power Zoom One Shot. Really great little tool that Mocha got me as an early birthday present. Doing the nature shorts has become almost like doing haikus. What can I show from my own unique perspective in 30 seconds or a minute? And when you set out with that intent, the world responds. It opens up. You start seeing everything, maybe some things that you've seen before, but it's from a really unique perspective now. And you just want to share it. It's like I see right now on YouTube in the shorts, my red-winged blackbird on rain-drip branches just came up. It's a beautiful bird. You see this blackbird, and then it's got this strip of red on its wings. And it was on a tree that's not yet in bloom, raindrops hanging from the branches, and the blackbird was just traveling up the branches before it reached the highest one, flew off. It's a beautiful opportunity just to be there, and then to be able to gift it to others. Absolutely love doing the YouTube shorts. It's become an art form for me in and of itself. It doesn't have to be, don't put it out there for anyone's approval or judgment or critique. Nature does the work. I've been gifted the opportunity to be there. So I do draw occasionally. I wish I could paint, because I absolutely love paintings, and I definitely have some favorite artists and favorite times. The post-impressionist period, Monet, Van Gogh, and then even some of the abstract. I like Jackson Pollock. Brian is saying hello to flowers. It is what it is, says, yes, Osiris is a legend. Yeah, he is a legend, for sure. One of the first people that really supported me when I started my channel. Little knowing that it would go from burpees to just a yogi. Destiny says, just Yogi, remember that you're the captain of your own ship. The people that leave your life most likely are meant to be here. To leave your life, most likely not meant to be here. That's true. The one that stay are your people. And I certainly do appreciate my people. And the people are growing. People who just like hanging out, even just for a few minutes. I always appreciate when people just come in for 5 minutes and say hi. And then the people who come in and we get to have these extended conversations about whatever. Obviously, I have a certain bent that my conversations tend to wander in that direction. Odom says, I have a blue damson plum and 5-in-1 plum with 5 varieties of plums in one tree. Wow. Plum trees are pretty, I've always thought. Relaxing is here. Hey, everyone. Hello, my friend. How are you? Destiny says, thank you, Eric, for giving me an update on Mocha. It's good to hear that she is well. Yep, she's well and working out. She's been doing a treadmill routine popular, I think, on one of the social media things. I forget what it's called. The one where everyone dances. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Um, I've never actually been there, but I've heard about it. It is, you walk for 30 minutes at 3 miles an hour at a 12% incline, which is actually a surprisingly tough workout. It sounds simple, but that's a pretty steep incline. And to go at that steady pace for half an hour is definitely a good workout. Flower says that I drive when I'm bored or free. It's just nice and relaxing. It is nice and relaxing. Anytime you immerse yourself in art, if you know what you want to draw, that is. That's the big thing. One of the things that I've learned through writing is to embrace the emptiness and embrace the silence. And it's the same with an empty page that you're about to draw. The emptiness itself holds the promise and potentiality of all imagination, not just yours, but the infinite's imagination. So you can't go wrong. Just sit there and allow the universe to tell you what to draw. And it will, every single time. The key, though, is don't judge it when it's over. Don't say this isn't any good or I should have did something different. You're drawing what's meant to be drawn in this moment, and you let it go. Now that's the key. I'm going to draw this back. That's the key to karma yoga. The results aren't yours. The results belong to the universe. What's yours is the action of drawing, or the action of dancing, or the action of meditating, or the action of selfless service. All of those are yours. But the fruits of your action belong to God, or reality, or life, or the universe. That is a lesson from Krishna to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Lacton says, how are you, my friend? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And I hope you're doing well too. Brian is wishing relaxing a blessed day. And Destiny is saying happy Monday. Too relaxing. Brian says, thanks everyone. You're welcome, my friend. Definitely want to make sure that you know that you are welcomed and held in high regard. Brian says, sometimes I watch Bob Ross videos of him painting. Man, you got to love Bob Ross. There's life lessons in Bob Ross. Some actually pretty deep lessons on creativity. Lewis, I'm not even going to try to pronounce anything that comes after that. But I do want to say hi to Lewis. Thank you for coming in. And he's asking me to say hello. Hello, my friend. Of course, we'll say hello to you. Flower says, how long do you usually go live for? About an hour, usually. An hour seems like the perfect time. We get to cover a wide variety of topics. I really did want to hit the karma yoga with Destiny here. And I've been meaning to talk about that more and more. Seems an important subject to discuss. As well, lately I've been wanting to discuss more and more the heart center and living our lives from that heart center, which means being open, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to be hurt by the things in life that hurt. And at the same time, you're able to use that hurt as a transformational tool. It opens you up. It lets you know that you're a feeling, intuitive human being, that the things of the world affect you because you are a participant in the world. You're not separate. You're not removed. You're not someone who's here thinking about what comes next. Fully immersed in the present moment. You can't be living your life from the heart center without being immersed in the present moment. Relaxing says, I will be with you and support you from my heart. Thank you. I appreciate that. Funny that you say that, support from my heart, because I was just talking about the heart center. Heart center, we could also say the heart chakra. I prefer center. Chakra is that vortex of energy. The heart center, it's larger. It's not just a little vortex of energy. It's all the energy of the world. And we can really say the intelligence of the body is the intelligence from the heart center. We always think it's the mind. The mind is a great director. I really should say the brain to make that distinction between mind, which is larger, and brain, which is an instrument, a wonderful instrument, but should never be neglected because although it doesn't call the shots, it directs the shots. You could ask me what calls the shots, and I would say, I don't know. Osiris and I have talked about this before. Not having free will. And there's an important thing to discover there. And when you discover that not having free will, doesn't mean that you don't respond or react. But again, the quote from the Bhagavad Gita, also the Tao Te Ching, there's no doer. It's life itself that is doing. For there to be free will would mean that there's an actual self within the brain that exists independent of all of the parts. Instead, when you really dive deep in meditation and you see that emptiness that allows all things to come up, and then the thoughts are fluctuating, and we give them a reality as a thing, as a person, as a thinker. I think it was Mark Epstein, who's a Buddhist writer. He wrote Thoughts Without a Thinker. It's a wonderful book about that whole process. It's one of the first deep realizations you get when you're meditating is, hey, I'm not my thoughts. There's an observer here, not separate from the thoughts, but observing. And that's who I am. I'm the awareness. That's why the proper name for the heart center is loving awareness, heart awareness. If you're looking for a self, that would be self with a capital S, the self that is connected to everything. You'd find it first in the heart center. You'll never ever find it by thinking about it. What you'll find is more thoughts. Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and share out just Yogi doing burpees in his basement. Thank you, Destiny. Always appreciate when you remember. I always appreciate when I remember, but I don't remember that often. Destiny is saying hi to our new friend, Lewis. Flower says, thanks, Miss Destiny. You always remind me to drop a link. Hey, our friend Your Toast is here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Glad you made it today. Always happy to see you. Destiny says, you're welcome, Flower. Lewis says, how are you to scream my name? Sorry, I can't pronounce the whole name. I could try, but it never does the name justice. So I do apologize. Relaxing says, I wish good day to all people. Bye. Goodbye, my friend. Thank you again for being here. Everyone is saying hi to Toast and bye to Relaxing. How you doing, your Toast? I hope you're having a good day. On the first day of April, I mentioned before that April was an auspicious day, auspicious month for me. I just absolutely love when the world starts turning, when nature starts turning green, and then you see that slow increase each day. Especially, it's gonna rain the first 3 days of April, which isn't always fun at 4:30 in the morning when I'm out walking, but you see the results really quickly. After these 3 days are over, it's going to be a little bit greener. Then we'll probably get some more rain, and it'll start deepening and spreading. And then you'll have that splash of colors from flowers start popping up. The wonderful thing for me is really appreciating that green and those flowers as it begins to carry over. You see all of that starting to drop off late summer. And then you see fall with the falling of the leaves, and trees are barren. You don't have the leaves have fallen, so you don't have that vibrancy of color any longer. But you start to realize that the vibrancy, the verdancy. I love that word verdant because it means that aliveness of green. You realize it's been carried over, that deep green is existing now in the depth of winter. It's just not visible yet, but it's still here. It's in process. It's life happening. And you just carry through day by day until it's April, and it all starts happening again. It becomes visible. The unmanifest becomes manifest. At least that's the way I like to think of it. And it helps me through some rough days in winter, knowing that you don't have to escape winter. I don't need to project my way out of it. I don't need to think of better days in spring or better days in summer, because I know spring and summer exist right now. This is how spring and summer begins, in the depth of winter. So you can appreciate it right now. Everything that happens in winter is to bring spring. Everything that happens in spring is to bring summer. Everything that happens in summer brings fall. And so it continues. Each season isn't independent of the other seasons. It's just part of the process. It makes it a very beautiful experience of being alive. And I've had some periods in my life when being alive certainly didn't feel like a beautiful experience any longer. I wouldn't wish that on anyone at all. So I've always mentioned that when I began meditating, everything began to shift. Not at once, but every day there was a shift, and every day it was experienced. And I think what really happens is you don't become something other. Things begin dropping away. Hindrances. In yoga and Buddhism, they would call them hindrances. The hindrances that keep you from realizing the beauty of life right now, the peace of life right now, the peace of mind that you have that's always here. So you don't need to search for peace of mind. You don't need to search for an awakening. You don't need to search for enlightenment. All that is present right now, just like spring is present in the depth of winter. When you see a barren branch, it contains the potentiality for that deep, deep, deep shade of green that's going to be coming in just a few months. It's already in process. It's already at work, doing what trees do to produce that. When a leaf falls, It's providing emptiness for the next leaf to arrive seamlessly, without any trouble, without ever having to say, um, hey, do this, make room for this. It's time for the leaves to fall. Everything happens spontaneously and yet in order. That's the miracle of life. That's the truly, truly wonderful thing, is when you see the spontaneity and the regularity. Um, and I mentioned that to Milka fairly often, that my life looks routine. I wake up every day. It's usually between 2:30, 2:45 in the morning. Um, I am almost instantly doing my breath work and then sitting for meditation. And then I got my yoga, and then I write, and then I'm out in nature, and then I work out. I got some more yoga. I do my yoga nidra, which is that the yogic sleep. I got more breath work, and I have, of course, going live and stuff that I do here, as well as my other meditation and whatever things that need to be done. I had to go shopping today. Um, so it seems like a routine on paper, in description. But for me, all of these great things keep popping up that I get to do spontaneously. I didn't plan any of this. It just comes. I don't plan on meditating every day. I know I'm going to, but I can't call it a plan. But the time comes and I'm like, wow, it's time to meditate. I absolutely love the way my life has unfolded. I can't say that I like everything that has unfolded within it. Um, a lot of this started happening when I was caregiving for my father in his final months, knowing that he was going to pass away soon, and there was this poignancy and urgency, as well as this timeless experience all at once, and just seeing how everything was just flowing together. Um, and then in the months after he passed away, actually in the year, feeling his presence with me all the time. And it's just continued on. Caring for my father was a humbling experience, the best thing I've ever done with and in my life. As well, it seemed to open up some sort of mystery that death is part of. You don't sit with somebody in their very, very last moments, in their very last breath. You don't hold someone's hand when they're passing away without feeling like you've been immersed in that mystery a bit, and it stays with you. Sometimes if I try to explain it and people say, well, what is it? You can't say. Ineffable. That's the whole nature of a mystery. I can't be told. I don't know what it is. I just know when I feel like I'm sinking in it, I feel more at home than any other time in my life. Weird that it's death that brings that, because death isn't separate from life. You don't have life without death. People might try to make the argument, well, wouldn't it be nice? So why is it this way? I don't know. We know that death is part of life. When we don't run away from it, when we dive in and we explore, what is it? Is there something that continues? I don't know. I don't know if it even matters, because if you want to feel like you are eternal, wake up to the present moment, whatever it is. Sometimes the present moment is having thoughts of the past, memories. Sometimes the present moment is projecting in the future. But guess what? Even if that happens, it's still the present moment. It's not going anywhere. It's right here. And you don't have to do anything. Eckhart Tolle wrote a wonderful book, The Power of Now. But I'm not sure if everyone gets the point that there's no other place to be. The same, whenever I think of Ram Dass's Be Here Now, I always think he should have wrote a sequel or subtitles. And guess what? You already are here, and it's already now, and it's never not going to be otherwise. And you don't have to do a single thing. Meditation helps bring us to that conclusion, and it's really nice. Um, Lots of people have had spontaneous awakenings to that without ever sitting on the mat to meditate or do a single yoga asana or any breath work whatsoever. Sometimes it happens. An example would be one of my favorite books, Zorba the Greek. Zorba, who was just filled with aliveness, filled with beingness, filled with curiosity and life and enthusiasm. And he was always right here now. No other place to be. When you're with somebody who's like that, it's like you become in sync with their energy. That's the grace of a guru. Sometimes a guru doesn't have to be a living presence. Sometimes it could be the teachings of a master, Paramahansa Yogananda. I know Brian and I have talked about him quite a bit. Sivyanda, Nisargadatta Maharishi, Ramana Maharishi. I talk quite a bit about Nisargadatta Maharishi. Lately, I've been really immersed in Ramana, reading a book compiled by David Godman. Really wonderful book that I've had for decades, and I've read every few years. Every time I read it, just like reading I Am That by Nisargadatta Maharishi, it's like opening it again for the first time. So, all right, guys. So, we hit the hour mark. One of these days, I'm going to try to do a marathon session and see how it goes. My friend Noble, our friend Noble, did 12 hours, amazingly so, without really a pause. He just kept engaged with everyone, kept welcoming, kept being so full of joy, and never had any kind of drop in energy. That's the power of giving from the heart, is you don't have that drop. You just keep putting it out there. It's the power of love. Love never wavers. If it was earlier in the talk, I would pull up St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians and read that about love, because it might be one of the most beautiful parts of the Bible, I think. My opinion is different every day when I talk about things like that, like important sections of the Bhagavad Gita. What's the most important right now? Thanks to Destiny, I've been really focused on the Karma Yoga description offered from Krishna. But 2 weeks from now, I might dive into the Bhagavad Gita, and it'll be something completely different. It's the wonder of those classical spiritual texts. They're living things. It's more about the vibration. Some of these books, the Bhagavad Gita, you could carry it with you and never really read it, and you would still get benefits just from the vibratory experience of a book that is that holy. Same could be said for the Bible or the Upanishads or the Buddhist Dhammapada. Amazing. Same with the Heart Sutra, because it's somewhere right now across the world, many places in the world, the Heart Sutra is being chanted. It's an amazing thing to consider. Entrainment, which is a term from quantum physics, maybe even classical physics. I don't know. I'm not entirely well versed in either of them, any kind of physics. But we know that entrainment, where something is pulled in within that orbit, an electron is pulled in to the nuclei and becomes part of the whole. atomic structure. That's what those books does. It's also what a guru does. I'm not saying you need to find a guru. You really could experience guru-dom itself, getting in touch with your true self. And you do that through meditation and breath work and self-inquiry. So anyway, I'm really rambling on, guys. I apologize for that. I will see everyone later. I'll be back this evening and read something from my blog. We'll talk some more, and I'll talk some more about karma yoga for sure. Make sure that I caught up in the comments. Destiny, if you haven't left yet, thank you for being here. Have a really wonderful vacation, a well-deserved vacation. Wonderful, wonderful present from your daughter. Absolutely awesome. And your toast, I'm glad you made it. Appreciate you being here. Flower, the first one in. Appreciate you being here as well, as always. Although, as I mentioned, I do wonder if you sleep, because you're always awake. It is what it is. Always appreciate you and Brian and Osiris relaxing, and Louis for God. I'm not going to try it, but I do want to say thank you for being here, as well as some other new people. The good, bad, the ugly. I do like making sure everyone gets a shout out. Odom. How could I forget Odom? And Purple VR. I believe that's everyone. So, hey, thanks. I appreciate everyone being here. I'll see you later if you happen to pop by. Thanks, guys.